After Effects is a wonderful tool for both motion designers and video editors. Today we're shifting the focus a little bit more towards video editors. So if you're still trying to figure out After Effects, these 5 tools are gonna blow your mind. Starting with tool number 1. So you probably already know that you can expand the transform properties of your layer in the timeline. And of course you can animate these properties. Yes, I know this is the DaVinci Resolve logo. I started my Resolve Basics channel yesterday. Anyway, let's say I want to animate my logo from the left to the right. Then I can simply do that by going to the position property and then enabling the position keyframe. Then move forward in time, and if I now move my logo to someplace else, it will create another keyframe. Super basic. As you can see, my logo is now animated, moving from the left to the right. Let me remove that for now, because the tool I want to show you is going to be mind-blowing. It's called the Motion Sketch. To open it up, head over to the window menu on top and find it in here. Once it's open, you can see it super simply. Now what this does is it captures the movement of your cursor, and it will then create an animation curve for you. Let me show you. First of all, make sure your icon or video in the timeline is selected. Then in the Motion Sketch panel, click on Start Capture. Now in the Composition panel, click somewhere where you want the animation to start. Then hold your left mouse button and drag a line all the way to the place where you want the animation to stop. And there you go. Now you have a bunch of keyframes that track your cursor. Isn't that awesome? I use this sometimes when I'm literally trying to animate a cursor moving to a button like this. It's always a little shaky, right? So I make sure the cursor is selected and then I click on Start Capture again. After that, I click and drag in the Composition panel, shaking a little bit right there. Alright, there it is. Now my cursor is fully animated and it looks like an actual shaky hand. That is awesome. Alright, tool number 2. We love making animations and effects in After Effects, but then you hate having to go into Premiere and put everything together. I know, Premiere can be complicated. That's where Riverside actually helps us a lot. Riverside is a platform where you can record, edit, and repurpose your content without juggling through 5 different apps. Let me show you how I use it in my workflow. When I'm in my dashboard, I click the Upload File button. Then I drag in the files I want to use and click Upload. This automatically creates a new project for me with all my recordings. Now it's very easy to edit your content in here. I just click on Create and then on Edit. In here you can use the super simple editing interface. You'll notice the preview quality looks a bit lower, but don't worry, the final export will be high quality. Okay, so you can go straight to the timeline and start editing in here. For example, if you don't need this part of the clip, you just select it and hit delete. Something magical about video editing. You take raw, messy footage out of your camera. You can also use the text-based editor instead. Let's say I want to remove this pause here. Just click it and choose delete. There you go. Now, you can also use some AI tools for that. In this menu, you can apply the remove pauses tool. As you can see, all my pauses are deleted now. You can do the same with filler words and you can enhance the audio quality with Magic Audio. While it enhances your audio, you can of course continue editing, by the way. Now, when you're done, click the export button on top. Alright, now here, when you're waiting, you can use the AI co-creator for some other cool stuff. For example, let's ask it to generate a description. There you go. That is wonderful. Now, the thing with Riverside is that you have everything you need in one place. Instead of uploading and editing your videos here, you can also record them directly on the platform. If you're recording with multiple people, for example, a podcast or interview, each participant's camera and mic will be recorded locally and uploaded to Riverside. That way, you'll always have high quality media, even if the internet connection was bad. Now, if you go back to your dashboard, you'll find some cool AI tools. For example, Magic Clips. This works on videos longer than 5 minutes, and it will take the most interesting parts of your video and turn it into multiple short-form clips. I just love that this tool is super reliable. It's also why huge companies and some really interesting people are using Riverside. So, if you want to speed up your workflow and make high-quality content faster, definitely check out Riverside. You can try out the Pro plan for free for 1 month if you use my code After Effects. I will drop a link for you guys down below in the description and in the pinned comment. Let's move on to After Effects tool number 3. This one is called Content Aware Fill. Now, what if you want to remove these paper clips from your desk? Yeah, I know, your desk looks messy. Well, with Content Aware Fill, that's no problem. First, head over to the window menu on top and find Content Aware Fill. Once you've found it, click it, and that will open up a new panel. Now, we don't have to be in here just yet. First, make sure your clip is selected in the timeline. Then head over to the toolbar on top and select the pen tool. Next, we're gonna create a mask around the paper clips, and to do that, simply click to add a point. And keep doing that until you're around the object. There you go. Now, in the timeline, expand the layer. Then head over to the mask. And here, set the mask mode to subtract. That will make a hole in your video. Now, something has to fill it up. So next, you want to head over to the Content Aware Fill and click on Generate Fill Layer. Now, you can sit back and relax because this can take a few minutes. But once it's ready, you will see that the paper clips have disappeared. Isn't that cool? I actually used the same technique to hide my real blade from my lightsaber to create this ignition. Alright, time for tool number 4. The Roto brush tool. Let's say I want to add some text behind this person. Well, to do that, follow me carefully. First, select your clip in the timeline and hit Ctrl+D on your keyboard to duplicate your video. Then make sure it's selected, and now we're gonna cut out this man so that we can put some text behind it. Now, to do that, head over to the toolbar and click the Roto brush tool. Once it's selected, go to the composition panel and click and drag the man to create a selection. This can be some trial and error sometimes, but try to do this as accurate as you possibly can. If you accidentally selected too much, like right here, simply hold down Alt. This will make the Roto brush red, and that will allow you to make the selection smaller or to remove parts from the selection. Alright, now when you're done, simply hit the spacebar and let After Effects rotoscope the man out. When it's done, check it for mistakes and adjust them if necessary. Then click on the freeze button and that will lock in the rotoscope. Alright, next, head back to the toolbar and click the text tool. Click somewhere in the composition panel and type in whatever you want. For example, cool. Alright, now scale it up until you're satisfied and of course, position it to your liking. Now in the properties panel, you can change the color if you want. Perhaps to something warmer. That will fit the background. Alright, next in the timeline, all you gotta do is click and drag the text layer in between the two clips. And now the text is behind the man. Cool, right? Now with the rotoscoped clip selected, you can still make some adjustments in the effect controls, like the feather for example. Definitely play around with it. Alright, now if you're still kinda new to After Effects, you will love number 5, which is this video right here, where Janik will teach you how to get started with Adobe After Effects, even if you are a complete beginner. Thank you guys so much for watching.